All right, we are now in focus. Thank you very much. I appreciate your being here and your loyalty. Both of you. So we're back in public session. We just finished our executive session, basically to review the leases and all the economic ramifications of what these leases mean with the UN, UNDP, and other leases that we're talking about, and the cost of construction and development related to leases and obligations that we undertook. So I think we need to now, in public session, we're going to have a resolution. Rob, if you want to.
Yeah, so the next item in the agenda is authorizing resolutions for the corporation's anticipated bond financing, the 2025 bond Series A federally taxable. Our bond counsel Adam Ward is here, and if you look in your board materials in attachment 9A, there is a set of authorizing resolutions that I would ask Adam to walk us through. In addition, I passed around a resolution that would probably be incorporated into these resolutions, right, Adam? Yeah. The wording may be slightly different. It's really technical in nature. At the board meeting in September, the board authorized George and I jointly signed kind of every document. As time went on, that wasn't really feasible. So, certain documents I had signed. And so this is kind of states that either of us can sign those documents rather than jointly.
Does it, thank you. Does it, create any structure around that? Like you can sign, either can sign any documents, or is it just something?
Consultation between the chair.
No, but I'm asking which types of documents can you sign or not sign?
It's linked to that original resolution.
Okay, so it ties back.
It ties back to it, so it's not anything. I mean, it's just tied back to the transaction documents as defined earlier.
Understood.
Yeah,
Shouldn't that be an or between Klein and Cole?
probably. Or yes, yes, it should be. So we'll make that adjustment and reflect it in the resolutions.
Yeah.
So Adam, why don't you kind of walk us through what we're asking in these resolutions?
Thanks, everybody. So the resolution before you seeks approval from the board to essentially effectuate the bond transaction. So today we're gonna walk through sort of the three, I think, most important areas of this authorizing resolution, which includes the approval of the various bond documents that are going to be required. It is going to approve the engagement of or the formal engagement of various financial advisors, attorneys, and other members of the financing team. And it also sets forth certain delegations for an authorized officer to make regarding the specific terms of the bond transaction. So starting with the bond documents themselves, today the board is going to be asked to approve the form of indenture of trust and a supplemental indenture of trust, which will set forth the specific terms of the bonds and the sources of repayment, which will be the corporation's gross revenues. The next bond document is the bond purchase agreement, which pursuant to which the corporation will sell the bonds to underwriters, and it will set forth the underwriter's compensation. That form is near final. In addition to the bond purchase agreement and the indenture, the board will also be asked to approve forms of additional security documents that will be required to further secure corporation's obligations to repay the bonds. This will be in the form of leasehold mortgage at both of the buildings. Corporation's mortgaging its interest. There'll be an assignment of leases and rents, and also a collateral assignment of project agreements. In addition to those documents, today the board's going to be asked to approve the ratification of the city documents that were previously discussed, which includes the new backup lease, the city support agreement, as well as a sixth amendment to city leases. The lease between the city and the corporation was amended to accommodate the bond financing. So there were some technical changes that were made, and that lease was signed on March 14th. So we are seeking, corporation seeking ratification. In addition, there will be a disclosure document in connection with the issuance of the bonds. There'll be a preliminary official statement and a final official statement. And those documents will set forth the terms of the bonds and information about the corporation and the transaction itself. And those disclosure documents are in progress and nearing final form. And I think those are really the key bond documents that are needed to effectuate the financing. I also mentioned that the authorizing resolution would seek formal appointment of various financial advisors, attorneys, and other parties. So that is set forth in the resolution, as well as the engagement of the rating agencies, which, as discussed earlier, will be rating the bonds. And there will also be a bondholder representative appointed to act on the bondholder's behalf upon certain events. So those are the third parties that will be engaged. And the final part of the resolution is the delegation to authorize officers of the corporation to take certain actions as deemed necessary to effectuate financing. The delegation authority includes establishing the principal amount of the bond subject to a maximum limitation of $385 million, which is set forth in the resolution. Also, a maximum maturity of 35 years and a maximum interest cost of 7%. And those parameters were established by the corporation's financing team. And finally, the authorizing resolution delegates the corporation the ability to take other actions that may be required or necessary to close. So that is a overview of the bond documents, the advisors being appointed, and the delegation authority. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
One question. At the bottom of page 3, there's section 2.02 that reads first supplement. What is the first supplement?
So the first supplement is a supplement to the general indenture, and that will have the specific terms of the bonds, which will be established when the bonds are priced. So exactly. So that we'll be able to populate that agreement, that document subsequently in connection with the marketing of the bonds. But in terms of the fundamental structure of repayment, that's in the general indenture.
So the particular pricing, et cetera, gets codified that.
Exactly. And pricing, other terms related to the bond, such as redemption, provisions, prepayment. It's all reflected, of course.
And Jessica, it's what's called an open indenture. So should in the future, the corporation need to issue additional bonds to complete the building, there would be another supplemental.
I did not know that.
So
Chuck, I want to
Each would be a series.
thank you.
Understood.
I want to thank you and your firm for really doing an extraordinary job over this period. Of course, our lawyers, Fried Frank, should be known publicly, the work that they did and that they will do with going forward on this. And Lloyd, I have to thank you and the rest of the staff for everything that's going on behind the scenes and up front. And if we can get a resolution in on this, on these items that are sitting here for all the approvals. Seconded.
second.
Any negatives? So unanimous, done. Thank you all, and I hope you'll give me just 1 minute. Can we go into close off the public session?
We can
We're adjourning the
we can
meeting.
we can close the meeting.
Close the meeting. But if you all could wait 1 minute.